This is the 10 Untouched Books Tag, created by Rainer at Rainier Reads, where he encourages us to look at the books that have been on our shelves for a year or more that we haven't touched. Here are my 10. Oops. I'll put these 10 books in reverse order, the order I really want to read them. I don't want to read them all sometime, but number 10, we have Catherine Cookson, The Dwelling Place. When I worked in Slough Public Library many years ago, as their 1981 to 1983, the most popular author seemed to be Catherine Cookson. We couldn't shelve her books before someone took them out. The Dwelling Place is historical fiction set in the 1830s. It tells the tale of 15-year-old Sissy Brodie, who loses her parents to cholera, and she's forced out of her cottage, and she has to raise her 9 siblings and to save them from the workhouse. Sounds an interesting read. I have put it on my TBR a couple of times, but I haven't got to it yet. Number 9, Miss Webster and Cherif by Patricia, Duncker. I'll read the blurb. Elizabeth Webster is a spinster pushing 70. Forced out of her teaching job, she unleashes her sharp tongue and dogmatic opinions on everyone in the English village of Little Blessington. Then one night she grinds to a dead halt. To recover from this illness, she travels to North Africa, where she has a brush with terrorism. Not that she cares about politics. 3 weeks after Miss Webster has returned home, her doorbell rings. There stands a beautiful young Arab man carrying a large suitcase. Who is he? Why is he here? And what does he want? Sounds intriguing. Number 8, Tom Jones, Henry Fielding. I wanted to read something before the 19th century, a novel before the 19th century, because all the novels I've read have been from the 19th century onwards. This was published in 1749. It's a comic novel. I think I've been deterred by the sheer length of it. I don't know a lot about Tom Jones. It's a classic, so it's withstood the test of time, and I would like to give it a go sometime when I can get over just how fat this is. White Teeth, Zadie Smith. This has been on my TBR a couple of times, but I haven't opened it yet to read it. It's a debut novel from 2000, set in multicultural London, winner of the Guardian First Book Prize. I think I picked this up at the Tbilisi Book Swap. I think a few of these I picked up at the Tbilisi Book Swap, but I've yet to get to it. Tales of Majipoor, Robert Silverberg. When I was a teenager, I read a lot of Robert Silverberg. He was one of my go-to authors, like Clifford D. Seamack, Isaac Asimov, Arthur C. Clarke. I was really into science fiction. I don't know this. I did read Lord Valentine's Castle, which I think is set in the same world. This is 7 tales chronicling thousands of years of the history of this Majipoor, which has been described as one of the most fully realised worlds of modern science fiction. I don't know why I haven't got to this. Battleground, Jim Butcher, Dresden Files. This is number 17. I know why I haven't got to this, because I've only read 1, 2, and 3, and I want to read the others before getting to this, but I don't know if I'll get all the others. I do have the 4th one on my Kindle, but getting to this 17th one, that's a tall order. I don't usually read books in a large series, but I do like the character of Harry Dresden and his battles against the supernatural. This one's got a very high rating on Goodreads, not that that's necessarily a good recommendation. Lee Child, a Jack Reacher novel. This is The Hard Way. I picked this up a while back because Alice of Alice in the Giant Bookshelf was a great fan of Lee Child and the Jack Reacher novels. Sadly, she's no longer with us, but I'd like to try one just to see if it appeals to me. And then number 8, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, John le Carre. I've never read a John le Carre. When I was born, the best-selling book at the time was The Spy Who Came In From the Cold, which is also about this spy character, George Smiley. Books about the Cold War have gone a bit out of favour because the Cold War is sort of finished with the breakup of the Soviet Union, but I'd still like to read this. Number 2, Graham Masterton, The Living Death. I've just discovered this is a Kate Maguire novel. Kate Maguire is the police detective in these books, and I did read the first one and I gave it a 5-star review. This is the 7th in the series. Graham Masterton is famous as a horror writer, but he also writes crime and police procedurals. So it's a police procedural, but it'll have lots of grisly details, I imagine. It's set in Cork in south of Ireland, and yeah, I'm keen to read this soon. And finally, number 1 on my 10 Untouched Books. It's still in its plastic wrapping. This is 11/22/63 by Stephen King. I've read more pages by Stephen King than any other author. I've actually read more books by Dick Francis, but his books are a lot smaller. I also see on Goodreads that Ollie, Berner and the writer Frida McFadden all gave this a 5-star review. I've seen a lot of people on Goodreads on YouTube, on BookTube say this is a great book, that it's one of Stephen King's best books, but I haven't got it out of the plastic wrapper yet. I've had this on my shelf a couple of years now. So, these are my 10 books. Thank you, Raina, for tagging me. It's a fun tag. I've seen a few people do this already. I've seen Greg of Another Bibliophile Reads has done this. Mark of Book Time with Elvis. Debs at Raina Reads has done this. And surprisingly, Steve Donahue did this, but Steve Donahue did it in his own inimitable way. And I shall tag some people in the show notes below, because I don't know who's been tagged and who hasn't yet, so I'll check that out before I make a list. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. This will help me with the YouTube algorithm. And I shall see you on the next video. Goodbye. And you might have noticed I didn't do my usual books, reading and stuff at the start of this video. I'm wondering whether to phase this out or whether to continue with it. Let me know what you think in the comments below.